Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is a Democrat of Texas. She previously served as a Texas state representative, has been an outspoken opponent of the state's abortion policies, knows the politics and knows Ken Paxton in that state very well. And she joins me now. Congresswoman, good to have you here.
It's great to see you. First of all, I just want to send love and amazingly warm thoughts to Ms. Cox, because she decided that she would put her trust into the judicial system. She decided to follow the rules. She knows what the law is in the state of Texas. The problem is that we have an attorney general who should have been impeached, but we have spineless senators that sit in the Senate. They did not take him out. And it's amazing the people that decide that they want to function above the law. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. This woman went to court. A judge ordered that there would be a temporary restraining order. And what did he decide to do? He basically said, ignore that, I don't care, while he currently has felonies pending against him where he is evading prosecution.
I have to say, I can't do it justice in the time we have because it's a very long letter, but this letter is one of the most, I mean, it's a shocking document. I mean, he is fully threatening them. He's threatening them with possible civil penalties. He's threatening their licenses. He's threatening with a criminal prosecution if they abide a court order to allow this poor woman to terminate her pregnancy as a judge just granted.
Right, because he's above the law. He is the attorney general. He is supposed to be an advocate on behalf of the state. They advocated, they lost. So the idea that you're going to ignore this, and we have a resident in Texas that now may literally lose her life, if not losing her life, may lose her ability to bring life into this world. And the sad part is we've already heard from other Texas women that have lost this ability.
And I think it's, you know, for whatever notes Republican politicians make about moderating on this, and they like to do so, you're shaking your head, I think rightly so. This is the reality of what, I mean, you're living in. I mean, that is a state that was one of the first. It's sort of the place where a lot of this has started. Not the case that ultimately Dobbs' case, but obviously with other cases.
The vigilante bill.
Exactly. And this is what it looks like on the ground in your state to have an abortion ban.
Yeah, this is exactly why it's important that we show up all the time and we vote for people that just have common sense. This is about common sense. You got to understand that the people that were in charge of writing the laws in the state of Texas that now say it is a first-degree felony where you can be punished up until life without possibility of parole. Well, not without possibility of parole, but you can be punished for up to life if you assist in this type of care. The people that are writing these bills, have y'all checked their resumes? The majority of them don't qualify to even try to come close to going to med school. So the fact that they are telling medical doctors what they can and can't do, and they don't have the experience, they haven't done the research, and they completely ignore science, is mind-boggling to me.
You are here in New York, fresh off being in the United States House of Representatives, where you serve representing a district in Texas and includes parts of Dallas. I want to read you this. Today there was a censure vote against one of your colleagues, Jamal Bowman, who pulled that fire alarm, pled to a misdemeanor, said it was a mistake. This is the tweet from Steve Morris in the recount. He said, "This House has now seen multiple physical confrontations and fights between members. An expulsion of a member, George Santos, the first overthrow of a speaker in history, now a tie for the most censures within one Congress since the 1870s. What's it like over there?
What does it look like? I mean, it's a wacky world, right? But I have to give it to the Republicans. They have made some accomplishments. I've really underestimated them. They have decided that they want to break all the records that they can find, going back to the 1800s, right? These are the only accomplishments they have. We just heard from Chip Roy the other week, and they were so upset about it. That was also another fist fight that almost happened, was with Chip Roy and the gentle lady, Miss Virginia, where they were upset because he went on the House floor and he said, "We've accomplished nothing." And that is the absolute truth. And so instead of accomplishing anything, they are continuing to really degrade what the House is supposed to be. And right now is a time in which not only can Americans not deal with a House that's unserious, but the world can't afford it right now. We know that we've got conflicts that are brewing, not just in the places that we're talking about consistently, but there are other conflicts that are going on all over the world. And we are the ones that are supposed to be leading. Instead, we are falling behind every single day that we let people like Tuberville continue to reside in the Senate, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene that are going to decide the legislative agenda or lack thereof. we are degrading our system here. You don't have to necessarily agree with everyone's politics. You never will.
Yeah.
But the reality is that send someone who is serious, send someone who believes in the platform and have a platform that is based upon something other than xenophobia, racism, and hate. Have a platform that is based upon real fiscal responsibility and come up with some solutions.
The Speaker of the House is going to have a tough job ahead of him. It looks like the Ukraine funding won't pass before he puts you guys on recess December 16th. There's warnings about how dire that will be. He, of course, is the Speaker because of Kevin McCarthy being overthrown. Kevin McCarthy now announcing that he is not just not going to run for re-election, but he's just out. Hit the bricks.
Yeah.
What do you think of, do you have thoughts on Kevin McCarthy?
I'm surprised it took this long. I mean, when they kicked me out, I would have been like, deuces. Y'all can have it. Listen, Kevin McCarthy raised more money for the Republicans than anyone ever, right? And so there were some Republicans that understand how this game works. When you are the Speaker, you're not just up there to hold a gavel. Half the time, they're not even holding the gavel. You are there to make sure that your party stays in power. And so you have to raise money. And so you had a guy who had raised $5 million in a matter of, like, I think 6 years or so of being in office, 6 or 7 years, versus McCarthy, who could raise that in his sleep and literally do that in a month's time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, McCarthy at that point was giving way more than he was getting back. So what is the point? If you go from the top, like, you don't go from the top to the bottom, like, it's supposed to be from the bottom to the top. So I don't know what took him so long. I think he thought for a second
He might get back in there. Yeah.
That's exactly what I think.